Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, before I proceed, I also publish on Rumble and I'm all these socials here. So some stuff coming out from AMD. I think they launched their server stuff to compete with NVIDIA, the great super competitor or something like that. I'm not very into that stuff, and I don't understand very well, but it seemed they launched they made their presentation and launched those GPUs, CPUs, whatever there is to the server stuff. Yeah, I just hope they launch the 77 and the 7800 GPUs. But yeah, we are seeing still from their previous generation, they are still dropping their prices, mainly because I think that there is still a lot of the previous, especially the mid-range, like the 67s and 7800s, XTs and non-XT variants from these GPUs. They are still a lot of them on warehouses, and I think they want to get rid of them. So that's why we're seeing a lot of lowering prices. This one is not that good. The 6600 non-XT. It's still PCI Gen 4 8 lines. It's a cut down Navi 23. So only 8 gigabytes of GDDR6 and 128 bit. But it's for $180. It is what it is. At least it's lowering their prices. We got some competitors with the 4060 Ti and almost 4070 with the previous generations from AMD. They've been lowering a little bit their prices to try to maintain competitiveness in the market while they wait. I don't know, that they have a good opportunity to launch the mid-range from this generation. I saw that they launched on that presentation the 7800 XT for like professional cards, but it is a Navi 31, so it's not the 32, which is basically the middle range, and it has like 32 gigabytes. It's for professional workloads, so it doesn't apply that well to gaming even if you manage to buy one of those at a decent price, because usual professional cards are usually way more expensive, and they are basically fine-tuned for professional workloads. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. We're basically almost in the middle of the summer. Yeah, we need some cheap GPUs with a decent performance, especially for 1440p. You got very low GPUs that they can manage like entry-level 1440p, or you have like the 4K graphic cards. We don't have like nothing competitive and decent at 1440p, which is a shame. But yeah, there is a company, a Chinese company, I think, aigo, and A is not capitalized, or should not be. I don't know why. I found it funny. They are supposedly going to enter in the PC motherboard and GPU business. I don't think they are going to manufacture by themselves. It's going to be like something, I don't know. They're just going to buy stuff and stamp their sticker on it. Basically, they've been doing supposedly have experience on the market regarding storage stuff. But yeah, I don't know how this is going. If it is going to affect any kind of like price competitiveness, but I'm not sure, because if they are not manufacturing or taking like space for manufacturing chips and everything, they are just buying and then reselling with their brand. I don't know if it's going to be cheaper. I don't think so, unless they buy in bulk. I don't know. But yeah, it's curious to see that there are still companies that want to try out this kind of thing, especially on the motherboard and GPU, which is a very busy market. Especially when you have like big companies like MSI, Asus, Gigabyte, even though some of those companies have been having some issues with those components. But yeah, I don't know how if this is going to affect even the other markets except the Chinese one. We will see how it goes, but it's a little interesting information regarding, for me, the more competitive companies there are, the better for the consumer. If the free market is dictating what consumers want, and if they present good products at the competitive prices, I think it's good for us. There's been some news regarding Embracer Group. I remember covering that there was like a $2 billion that was botched. We don't have like a huge amount of details. We only know that it was they were hoping to do this $2 billion deal. It didn't went through. So they are basically, I don't know how many weeks it's been through since this news, like 1 or 2 months maximum. They are announcing some restructuring on all the companies that they hold. It's from Square Enix, Eidos, Crystal Dynamics. It's a lot of stuff. They have a lot of in the last like 2-3 years, I think they bought a lot of stuff in terms of gaming companies. So basically, they're trying to reduce overhead costs at least 10% on a yearly basis. Sorry. So basically, they have to restructure. They have to cut down costs. For sure, at least what it's expected, there is, of course, some games that maybe they're in pre-production, they start production, maybe they're going to cancel those because I don't know, like similar to like CD Projekt, they say no, we have to reevaluate all these games that are in pre-production or they start production. We're going to at least pause them, cancel them, reevaluate. For sure, there are going to be some firings. For sure, it's a shame, but they have a lot of games, 200 games in the pipeline, at least as the last earnings call. So we'll have to see how it goes. For sure, the games that are already announced, they are not going to be cancelled, from what I know. They are investing strong, but they have to do they have to reduce costs basically. I think it's mainly because of that $2 billion deal that didn't went through. Supposedly, the Tomb Raider franchise is okay. Even Crystal Dynamics and Eidos from Square Enix that were from Square Enix, they are. I think there will not be like basically any restructuring. The game, that Tomb Raider game, in partnership with Amazon Studios. I think in terms of publishing, seems no changes there. I think there is a Perfect Dark Reboot. It's one of the games we didn't see on the Xbox showcase. I think it's because I think this was part of the Xbox case the last time they announced it. But yeah. We are not going to see any cancellation because of the games that did not been announced that they were making or start making. I suppose it's a lot of pre-production and like cutting costs and personnel when it applies. I don't think they are trying to buy a lot of these studios just to cancel games and then fire people. It doesn't make a lot of sense. You need, especially on the gaming side, you want that the IPs that are owned by those companies to be up in the air as soon as possible. I don't know, Eidos, I think Square Enix still, I don't know how is about the Deus Ex, at least the reboot, how it went. I don't know which company holds those rights, or like a continuation on Jensen's story there. But yeah, a lot of stuff going to be restructured, but I don't think it's going to be like half the personnel is going to be fired and half the games are going to be cancelled. I think they're going to try to cut the fat of these companies the best they can. We got now from Summer's Game Fest stuff all over the place, a lot of interviews, extended overviews, and whatever they wanted to call it. We got some updated system requirements for the DLC itself. I think it's more demanding. I don't remember by memory which kind of PC requirements were for the base game, but at least we have a more detailed here than usually what we have in terms of requirements. I think 1080p 60 frames, it's a very achievable one. mainly on the CPU and GPU side. I don't know, I think this is mainly this the 2060 and the 57 XT. I think it's mainly even the ARC 77. I think it's very achievable here. Of course, they are basically just trying to tell people no more HDDs, so hard drives, basically SSDs or even NVMEs. I don't know how they dealing with the streaming of information, how much is going to be very on the hard drives, not hard drive, the SSDs one, in terms of storage. But yeah, and of course the CPUs are a little bit more on the high side here, and this is not with RT. With RT, you just forget about it. You need 4090s, 30 generation Intel and the AMD 7000 series for CPUs. Basically, it is what it is. But it's even the ultra ones. I assume between the 3080 and the 7900 XTX, I think it's about in terms of raw performance, and not about so much the VRAM here. What they're trying to achieve here. Even though they demand 12 gigabytes, so I suppose the 3080 it's the 12 gigabyte version, or the 3080 Ti, probably between that, to achieve a playable 4K 60 frames per second. But yeah, it's a little bit more from what people are saying, and we're going to start to see a lot of games, the more demanding games like AAA games, requiring an SSD. Mainly because texture loading and information streaming that needs to be loaded, you will need. But usually at the moment, SSDs in the next few years, I don't see any big changes here. Even though SATA free is very kind of limited in terms of data transfer, but in this day and age, even if you have a motherboard that can handle NVMe, even like a cheap one, PCI free. It's more than good enough to play these games. Usually, like the PCI 5 ones, the latest tech, it's more useful for productivity works that need a lot of data streaming, for example, editing videos and all that stuff. So we'll start to see some, at least for gaming, having the games installed on HDDs, you're going to see that it's not going to worth it. It's been like this for a while. They're basically forcing people to recognize that SSDs, or even NVMEs, is going to be the recommended one. It's been like a showcase. Lysopai 9-minute gameplay, but they already had the demo out. So, but it's always good to see some gameplay here, so you have a good idea. So the basis consensus, even here on Factor Life, I showed this one, the first impressions, because they played throughout the demo. It's like 1 or 2 hours, give or take. They went about it, everything, and I think it's a well worth article to go through. I think they made a video. I'm not sure. I think they made a video regarding this demo they played. But yeah, check their YouTube channel also. They have a lot of videos. They have been launching a lot of content, especially with Diablo 4, with the guides and the builds and everything. But yeah. It's more about the high level this gameplay here, so it's not very focused on the demo stuff. But yeah, it's very good. This game is going to be very good for sure. A lot of people that play the demo, they managed to pick up those gameplay tweaks and everything. They say it's very inspired from Bloodborne, and I think it's going to be a decent one. They say they scratched the itch of Bloodborne players. And yeah, nothing else to say. We just need to expect the game to launch, for the reviews to come, and see how the old game works out. Plus the lying mechanic there, it seems pretty interesting how they're going about it. There's been an announcement from the Lamplighters League. I covered this game when it was announced in Games Awards, I think. I'm not that sure. And I managed also to cover this when Christopher had like a preview of this game. They let them play a little bit of the game. Seems pretty interesting. We have now a confirmation date, release date for October 3rd. Seems pretty, and it came also with a new trailer. The trailer gives away a little bit more stuff, like fantastic things here, like not witchcraft, but more spiritual stuff here. So it's not only like fighting humans. I think it's going to be very interesting how they're going about. So basically, it's like XCOM stuff style, with some twists here and there. You have a lot of also the tactical and the strategic layers here. It seems very in line with XCOM, so it's always good to see these kind of things. And they have the twist on the like Mutant Year Zero and also Miasma Chronicle stuff. So before you can set up your ambushes here in real time, so it's not like XCOM that you have to try to figure out where the squads are and then activate it and try to, while you're doing the turns, trying to place yourself. You can do that, but it's a little bit more trickier. But yeah, seems pretty good. I will leave links of the games that are announced here for you to wishlist. Again, don't pre-order anything. It's my advice. You're sending the wrong message of giving money before you getting the product. And yeah, it's my main thing is don't pre-order. Rare exceptions, but overall message is try not to give money before the game is even launched. We've got some gaming deals here to wrap up this. So Ori and the Will of Wisps, and the other one here, the Blind Forest. They are in a bundle, 73% off, which is a good one. It's kind of Metroidvania stuff here, but it's very, very pretty and tells the story throughout these two games, and I think it's been overwhelmingly positive. A lot of games now are inspired by this game, this kind of Metroidvania stuff here with the story wise. And also No Man's Sky is still 50% off. We'll see how it's been a good not a good launch, but a good overall path. And they launched the Singularity Expedition some time ago, like a few weeks ago. It's going to see how this game handles when Starfield comes out, how the comparisons are going to be made, mainly because this one it's like seamlessly gameplay between worlds in space and everything, but I think Starfield is going to be more complete to a certain sense. But yeah, it's on 50% off. Now it's a very good game. Everybody recommends this game. And we also have the Lamplighters League here. They are from the same guys that did the Shadowrun games and BattleTech. It's on my wish list, but they are not discounted here. But yeah, so you have an idea. I'll leave this one from harebrained Schemes developer here. And basically this is it for today. I'm going to wrap up here with my GoGetFundMe for me to upgrade my PC to get better, more content for my private clients, and of course start doing some video stuff for them. And in my free spare time, doing the daily videos better quality, resume my gameplay series, doing some deep dives with some scripted content, and probably doing some live streams in the near future. I don't know, we'll see. With all that said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.